Hey, what's going on everyone? Today I wanted to go over a video about getting an XP boost from our maps because I know it gets a little bit taxing whenever we do get into 90 plus and we're trying to level up to be able to either get clusters or just get more damage and grab more passive nodes for our build. So there's a couple different strategies that we can use. One's going to be with shrines. One's going to be while farming Abyss. And then there's another one with Ultimatum if you're into that. I'm not much into Ultimatum, but I do just kind of want to show you the scarabs that you could use if you are farming Ultimatum. So what we'll do is we'll hop over to the game real quick. And I'm going to show you the scarabs. So with Domination Scarab, you'll have 2 additional shrines with a limit up to 4 in your map device. And then Domination Scarab of Teachings is going to give you that 30% increased experience gain per shrine buff that you have on. So this could essentially be a pretty big experience buff, because how many ever different shrine effects you can put on, you're going to have 30% increased experience gain. I did do research on that to make sure that that does stack. So it does stack. So what you would do is you put in your additional shrines and then you could throw in the increased experience gain. So then that's going to be 6 additional shrines, plus you could go into domination here and you can have 3 additional shrines. So that would be 6, 7, 8, 9 additional shrines, and then an XP buff and your map. So you could get loads of XP from just putting scarabs in your map device, which is super cool. Next is going to be, if you're into farming Ultimatum, you could use the Ultimatum Scarab of Bribing, and Ultimatum monsters grant 150% increased experience. So Ultimatum encounters also grant rewards as though you completed 2 additional rounds. So kind of cool. You could throw that in while you were farming Ultimatums and just get that much more XP. And third, we're going to have our Atlas tree first, and then I will go over the scarabs. So in this Atlas tree, what I had done is I have a little bit of map sustain. We've got singular focus in here, so you can drop those favored maps, because whenever you're doing Abyss and Breach, you want to utilize a wide open map because it's easier to fight the Abyss monsters. And 2, whenever you're doing breaches, since it spreads out, you want to be able to have space to be able to get the most monsters out of each breach that is popping. So what I had basically done is I had grabbed scarabs here just to have scarab sustain, and then I had grabbed breaches, and I will go through the Abyss nodes as well, and I'm also going to link this down below just in case I missed something while we're covering it, and then you'll be able to kind of go over it, and then you could modify it to however you wanted. I had also used some extra nodes just to block out some things that I didn't want in each map. So the main thing we're going to look at here is the Abyssal Army. So Abyssal Army will give you Abyss monsters in your maps grant 50% increased experience. And then Abysses in your map spawn 50% increased monsters. And same thing with this one. Abyss monsters and experience, you're getting 10% from this. So that's 60% increased experience. And then the other trick is that you're stacking increased monsters in here. So the same thing with your reactive swarm and then Abyss swarming reaction chance. We've got all 3 of those in this whole snake in general. So grabbing that is just giving us that many more monsters. If we look over here, and here, let me type in Abyss, or just look at Abyss here. So Abysses in your map spawn 55% increased monsters, and then Abyss monsters in your maps grant 60% increased experience. So then what we're also doing is we're going and dropping Abyss Scarab of Multitudes, which is a limit up to 2. So you're increasing your monsters by 150%. So we're putting 2 of those in. And then we're doing area contains an additional abyss, which you can have 2. And then, so we're going to have a bunch of abysses in our maps. And then you could also come down over here and grab the Abyss Craft and Map Receptacle, which is going to give you 2 more additional abysses. So This right here has been a big boost. So the cool thing about this is that since I've actually been using this one, and the cool thing about this is that you can farm abysses and breaches, and you can also get a huge experience boost. So there was actually times where I was getting around 2 to 2.5 bars of XP and level 96. I just hit level 97 last night. So I was able to get through 95 super fast, and then 96 took me a good bit, but as long as you don't die and you can get 1.5 to 2.5 bars of XP per map, that's essentially like 10 maps and you can level up from like 96 to 97. I'm sure 97 to 98 is going to be a little bit slower, but it is something that you can throw in and utilize while you are leveling and farming. So I just wanted to go over this and kind of just give you a little bit of insight if you weren't aware that you could get increased XP from these different strategies. So I also stream on Twitch every single day from 8 to 9 p.m. Central Time. So you could always come over there, hang out and chat and ask any questions that you might have. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the video. And I appreciate y'all hanging out. Later.